Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and if you're watching live, welcome back to another live stream. We're glad to have you with us. We are doing another, well, it's not really a Christmas theme video, but I did title it December Blu-ray Update because we're doing it in December. It's actually from everything that I've bought from the months of October and November, so it's going to be a little bit off-brand because there's going to be some Halloween stuff and some stuff that was tied to the adventure challenge that we did last month. But anyway, we're going to talk about it all here. And I've got my good buddy and temporary elf, Connor Nielsen. Here he is. Oh, look at that.
Yeah. How's it going, everybody? This is funny. I just needed a hat to throw on, and I thought, well, I didn't have a hat last time, and I found my hats, and now it's December. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, it's kind of Christmassy now.
I was not expecting.
How are you doing,
I was not expecting
DJ?
that. I didn't even have a Santa hat. Full disclosure, I wasn't prepared, and then he came on with that, and I was like, okay, I got to run downstairs and get one. But yeah, it's cool. I'm doing great. How are you doing? I don't know. I'm just ready to talk about some movies. We've got to start doing these faster. Like we need to start doing these once a month because it is stacking up too high, as you can see in the thumbnail. 2 months is too much to get through in one video. This is going to be a long one. So hopefully you guys are ready to talk about a lot of movies. And I've even got some TV on this list, I think, which doesn't usually happen. So
That's cool. I have no TV. Well, actually, that's not even true. I have a little bit of TV as well. So don't pay attention to what I'm saying. Just look at what I show, and that'll be it.
Cool. Well, let's jump into it. We got some new names here in the live chat. Lion Song says hello. SS Jerry says hey DJ. Hello. And John Henry and Tyler Overall were here earlier in the chat. So welcome. We're going to talk about a lot of movies. I'm going to turn it over to my buddy Connor here and let him talk about a little addendum to our last video. If you guys didn't see it, we did a huge Criterion collection haul for the big November 50% off sale. I specifically shot that video. I was like, let's get it out of the way so we're not tempted to buy anymore. And what'd you do, Connor?
I feel like this is confession, right? You know, it's.
I should be wearing a very different
Christmas
hat.
Season. Yeah, you should be wearing a big crucifix. So I got some more. I got some more stuff from the Barnes and Noble sale. What we got here is Insomnia, which is a Scandinavian thriller that was remade a few years after this by Christopher Nolan, and it starred Al Pacino, Robin Williams, Hilary Swank. But this original stars Stellan Skarsgård, and apparently it is excellent.
That's cool.
And
I didn't know that was a remake. I obviously knew about the Christopher Nolan version, but I didn't know it was a remake.
that was one of those things where I remember watching that for the first time and people saying it's not a bad movie, it's just a bad remake, because everyone talks about how perfect this movie is, and I'm curious to know how it is. And I really like this very cool packaging, like it's very blue.
Yeah, that's cool.
And we're going to go all the way to the other side of the color wheel, and my next one was Taste of Cherry, which I think is a very cool.
Yeah, those look really cool together with the hot and cold. That's awesome.
And it's funny because like their spine numbers are right next to each other. Taste of Cherry is actually 45 and Insomnia is 47. I think 46 is, out of print right now. But anyways, this movie actually won the Palme d'Or. It was the first, I believe, Iranian film to win the Palme d'Or. It's apparently very depressing, but also very good. So someday I'll watch it. Someday I'll watch both of these. Apparently this is a solid, feel bad double feature.
It's like a heat miser, snow miser thing going on there.
And then this last one, I realized I got no Kurosawa. How am I? Like, I feel like this is like a thing where I gotta make sure I'm buying films by this filmmaker that I've never seen anything from. Just to like build out that collection, build that library. And this is a double set. The films. These are two samurai films, Yojimbo and Sanjuro.
I've seen that.
It's
a cool set.
You could buy them independently, or you could buy them together in a set and save some money, which I figured would probably be in my best interest. Yeah. So those are my Criterion addendum picks. I got 4. It was 3 purchases, but I'm pretty satisfied with them. I can rest easy until July.
Yeah, we're gonna have to hold over till then because we Whew, boy, did we break the bank. All right, forgive me as I switch back over to my camera. I think it's going to start playing the logo again because I didn't close that out. But oh, it didn't. Okay, good. Well, then, I'm more professional than I thought I was. Okay, I also got some Criterions, but not from the sale. I actually hooked up with the guy in the Criterion Collection Facebook group. I highly recommend it. There's a lot of cool folks in there talking about Criterion movies and good discussions and people showing off their collections and also people selling stuff. And this guy was selling some box sets for an amazing deal, and I just couldn't pass it up, even though I had just done the November sale. Hopefully you'll be with me on this because he sold me all three: the Bruce Lee box set, the Lone Wolf and Cub box set, and the Jackie Chan box set 2-pack for $100. All three of these for $100. Like, I was like, what? I don't even know. I wish I had looked up. This one's $100, right? Retail, like normally.
Yes, that is absolutely
the Bruce Lee
true.
one is like 150, I think, maybe 125. It's more than $100, and then this one is $50 too. So this is like $225 worth of Criterion for $100 and like $7 shipping. It was too impossible to pass up. And not only that, this guy is like, he's more insane than us when it comes to keeping them in good shape. I don't know if you can see this. The Lone Wolf and Cub actually is new and sealed, not opened, which is awesome.
Wow.
Connor talked about all this. He watched all these movies last month, and I probably won't do that, but I'll watch them here and there. I'm not gonna go crazy like he did. But yeah, this is completely new and sealed, like in perfect shape. Like none of the corners are brushed up. Everyone in the Criterion group obviously knows that you need to ship things well. He shipped them in a box with bubble wrap and everything. Like they were in good shape. It wasn't Amazon kicking it across my lawn like a football. And then, but that one is new and sealed. These ones are not new and sealed. But he kept the packet. He kept the Saran wrap on them. I don't know how he did this, but he opened them in such a way where only the part that he needed to come out is cut. So they're still like an amazing shape with saran, or not saran wrap, whatever you call that. It's still in there. So I actually want to do a video showing this whole box set. I won't talk about it here because we've got a lot to get through, but I will do a video showing these box sets. But that looks awesome. I'm so excited to actually have that. Haven't even seen any of those. Well, I've seen bits and pieces. My dad is a huge Bruce Lee fan, so I saw those growing up. That was like the Rocky films with my dad, where he watched them so much. They were always on. I felt like I just had seen most of it, so I never watched the movies through until a couple years ago when my wife and I watched all the Rocky movies. So I want to do the same thing with the Bruce Lee movies. And then also, this is Police Story and Police Story 2, which is a 2-pack. I have seen the first Police Story. It is great. I watched it on the channel. And yeah, these are super cool box sets, and I do want to talk about them in some more detail later on. But I got those this month, and I'm very happy with that deal. So
that is very, very awesome. Excellent deal, man. I wouldn't pass that up neither.
Yeah, it was. I was kind of like, I was happy with him, but I was also kind of mad at him for doing that right as I had said I wasn't buying anymore. All right, so let's get into.
I remember.
Oh, sorry, what?
I just remember you texting me about that, being like, "Look, I just found something. I can't pass this up. This is too good."
And I think I just scolded you for buying more or something, and then of course I do the same thing. But yeah, let's get into. So this is October and November. We did the last one about August and September. Everything we bought in those 2 months. So I guess we're on a 2-month basis here. If you just want to go ahead and jump in, or do you want me to start, or what you feeling? Just grab something.
Okay, all right. Here's what I got. So this is actually Criterion Collection related. This is a film that is technically in the collection, but it is not in the collection in print right now. This is a movie that I don't even think got a Blu-ray release ever. I think, or at least not in North America. But it is Blood for Dracula. This is a movie that is directed by Paul Morrissey and produced by Andy Warhol. Let me see if I can get the lighting right.
Awesome. Is that a digipack? What is that?
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's pretty.
It is beautiful. I
also
love
very
the white
creepy.
with the red. Yeah. So this is apparently a somewhat quirky take on the Dracula mythos.
I've seen that
It's
on the
not like
Criterion channel. I didn't know I have no idea what it was, but I did see it on there. Isn't there like a Frankenstein one too?
that's exactly what I was going
Sorry,
to get into.
sorry.
No. It's all good. I'm glad you seeded that. But first of all, so this is a 4K release done by Severin Films, and I pre-ordered this, and it came like a month early.
Oh, wow.
Like over a month early. I think the street date for this was actually in November. I got it in mid-October. So big ups to the guys over at Severin. Wow. But this doesn't just come with a 4K. Oh, by the way, you pull it out, and it has this really cool artwork on either side. And then you open it up, and so what you have here are the 4K, the Blu-ray, and then a CD that has the music of the film on disc.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And then what dropped out of here was just a little like note card poster, but it also has the track listing of music on the back.
Cool.
So very, very impressed with this. Obviously, this is 2021. Severin's not like a major label, so the production here, it's a little flimsy cardboard, but I am going to keep this very nice. And the companion piece of this is like a pseudo sequel to a movie called Flesh for Frankenstein, which is the same producer, Andy Warhol, the same director, Paul Morrissey, and star Udo Kier. And Flesh for Frankenstein is also in the Criterion collection. These are both very early, and Flesh for Frankenstein also does not have a Blu-ray release in North America. So, and like Blood for Dracula, Flesh for Frankenstein just got a 4K release. I pre-ordered it back in early October, and it shipped last Monday, and I was praying and hoping it would get here before today. It did not, unfortunately, but that's a very cool set I will be showing off next time. But it kind of sucks that they can't be Criterion, I know, but there are other boutique labels that are doing the Lord's work, and I will show that off. That one's very cool. But that was one of them that I got, and I actually popped in the 4K and sampled it a little bit, and it looks excellent. Very grainy and very, very
That's
faithful
cool. Yeah, there's
to
tons
the source
of other,
elements, but it looks
tons
excellent.
of other companies that do this stuff, not just Criterion, and I need to get more into them. So hopefully we can show them some more love on this channel coming soon. This is not one of those. This is a very major studio. I'm going to start with these just because I think these may have been may have crossed over with the last video, or may have got here just after we shot the last video at the end of September, early October. I joined the Disney Movie Club. Finally. This is something that I've gone back and forth trying to decide whether I want to join or not. I might do a video of what finally pushed me over the edge, because it's been years that I've been thinking about doing this, because I get a lot of Disney movies for my kids anyway. And long and short of it is exclusives. They have exclusives on there, and if you try to get them, only available on Blu-ray through the Disney Movie Club. And if you try to get them on eBay, they're outrageous, like $40 a pop. So they have this thing where you join, you get 4 of them for free, basically like $1, basically just so they can have your debit card information, and then they can get you on the list to sign you up each month. And you have to commit to so many purchases. But anyway, I'll get into that in another video. Hopefully I can have time to talk about that. But these are the 4 that I picked for my starters. These are all exclusives. I went with all Disney Movie Club exclusives, which I don't love because they do them all the same. They all have the same box art, which is kind of annoying. But it's just cool that you can get these on Blu-ray. The Black Cauldron, one of the only Disney movies that never got a Blu-ray release. Really annoying because this one's really cool, even though it has a muddled production and a lot of stuff got cut out. I wish we could get a director's cut. That'd be awesome. But Black Cauldron, I don't know if you've seen this one, Mr. Conair, but it's a cool sword and sorcery epic fantasy thing. I enjoyed it.
I have not seen it because I have not watched Disney movies.
And then
so
sticking with Disney, Walt Disney Animation Studios, Saludos Amigos, and The Three Caballeros. They put these two together. These are two wartime Disney films that were like a collection of shorts, kind of like Melody Time and a couple of those other ones. So this is the two Mexico-themed ones, which is, it has a ride in Disneyland. If you've ever ridden that ride, Three Caballeros is what that ride is based on. So glad to finally have those. My son, I grew up with the Three Caballeros. I did not grow up with Saludos Amigos, but I did watch that one with my son, like last year sometime, and it was all right. Then not Walt Disney Animation Studios, but Disney's other studio that makes their like lesser animated movies, like the sequels and whatnot that are straight to DVD. But this is not. This is a great movie. A Goofy movie. Where's the Goof Troop? Everybody represent. This is a great movie, and a lot of people are like diehard fans of this movie, and I had to have it on Blu-ray because this is one I did grow up with a bunch. And then the last one is one that I did not grow up with, but I watched it recently, and it was absolutely insane and bananas and terrifying. It's Return to Oz. Have you seen this movie? Do you know anything about this movie?
Oh, I know it.
It is amazing. I watched it with my son, and it's not actually scary to kids. It's like, because he's like 2 and he wasn't scared at all. It's like scary to adults. I don't know. I think if he was like 6 or 7, I wouldn't show it to him. But when they're like 2, they don't really know what's going on anyway. So I probably won't show it to him a little later. But he enjoyed it, just as like pictures going on the screen. And it's another fantasy thing, and we don't get that much of those. I'm a big fan of The Wizard of Oz, obviously, and this is very different, but it was crazy and fun and 80s and wacky, and I had to have it because it was free. So yeah, those are the 4 starters I got. And there's a lot more exclusives that I want to get on there, including both Parent Trap films that are big in me and my wife's past. I have to get those eventually. We both grew up with those films, but there's a lot of cool exclusives on there, so hopefully I can get on that soon. Yeah.
Right on. So this next pick is probably going to be the only Christmas-related submission, because this is a Christmas movie, and that is this year's film, The Green Knight, directed by David Lowery. This movie is excellent, a very, very great movie. And honestly, I was a little surprised to say that, because I have not actually been impressed with the David Lowery films that I have seen in the past. I recognize the skill, I recognize the craft on display, but the way he tells stories has never really jived with me. I thought A Ghost Story was very difficult to get through, to be honest. But this movie was super great. If you have not watched it, I would urge you to. It is A24, so if you know what you're getting yourself into with like A24 tonally, pacing wise, a lot of their movies that they distribute or produce are very similar in terms of tone and pacing and style. And this is a sort of fantasy, it's pretty grounded, but it is a retelling of Gawain and the Green Knight, starring Dev Patel, who really ought to be in more things. I think that guy just rocks. Very, very good. It's close to my favorite movie of the year. I'll say that much. I probably need to watch it again. And I will say this 4K disc looks very good. That's good to hear. High quality.
I will, since you did that, I will go ahead and just same thing. I also bought this. This is my favorite movie of the year so far, I think. Still a lot to come out, and obviously award season hasn't happened yet, but so far I absolutely love this movie. This movie rocked my world in the theater. I just sat there while the credits went down until everyone had left, and then until they were finally over, just thinking the whole time, and then I finally got up and left, and then went in the car and sat in the parking lot for a little bit. But yeah, I went and got this, and then I also bought the Unbreakable 4K, so I got both of these. Finally dipping my toe into the 4K, thanks to this guy. I still haven't started converting. I don't know if I'm ever going to do that, but I have started buying things that I don't own on 4K, because I did not own Unbreakable. I held off for the longest time because it was just like a standard jewel case Blu-ray. It was kind of ugly. Didn't like it very much, so I held off until I got this. And then I also got the Green Knight. I got beef with the 4Ks, man. I do not like this packaging. What is this? This is horrible. I'm a slipcover guy. You know this. I prefer it to steelbooks or most things, and because it looks so smooth on the shelf. Like, I'm all about aesthetics on the shelf, and it's like so smooth across the top. What is this garbage? What? They couldn't even afford a whole slipcover. What is that? I don't want a bump. I don't want a little nub sticking out of the top of the slipcover. Ugh. And on top of that, they're not even the same height. Look at that. They're lined up at the bottom, and one is Green Knight is shorter than that. They can't even keep that consistent. Like, not a fan. They look great from the front, especially the Green Knight one. It's got like an embossed cover, and it's all shiny. It's not really showing up, but yeah, don't like the slipcovers. Better than not having a slipcover at all, I guess. But I'm happy I got these two. I really like this movie a lot, and I haven't watched it in a long time. I think I've only seen Unbreakable once, so I need to revisit that at some point. But gonna try to squeeze in Green Knight this Christmas season again, hopefully. I've got a lot to get through for Christmas on my Christmas list, but I might try to watch it again. My wife hasn't seen it, and she's interested because I liked it so much. So those are my two 4K pickups. I did those really early. That was like the first two things I got this
awesome
month after the Disney stuff. So.
Well, you're talking about, converting from Blu-ray to 4K. I did a conversion this month, but it was from Blu-ray
not as exciting.
to Blu-ray. I just basically replaced my Blu-ray. And that is
that is exciting because that thing is amazing.
Film Legend.
Beautiful.
First of all, look at
I know.
the artwork.
I was tempted to buy it even though I haven't seen this movie, just because you showed me how nice that box set is. I'm probably going to regret not getting it.
So Legend is a bit of a mixed bag amongst Ridley Scott fans and just fantasy movies fans and people who like 80s movies. This one is like a bit of like Ridley Scott made it, dude made Blade Runner, right? And then people go, yeah, but Ridley Scott, a lot of people don't like, half of his movies. For a lot of people, he's hit or miss. I watched through all of Ridley Scott's movies as like my New Year's resolution at the top of the year. So I watched all 25 of his movies that were out at the time for the first 6 months. And then I have seen The Last Duel and House of Gucci, which I enjoyed both of those. But Legend is a movie that I really, really like. Is it flawed? Yeah. Particularly the second half is a lot weaker, I think, than the first half, because the first half does a great job, I think, of setting everything up in a very dramatic way. It is so visually striking, and the way the visuals are conveying the emotions of the main characters, I think, does a good job of doing just that. But there are two cuts of this movie. There is like a 90-minute theatrical version with a musical score by Tangerine Dream, very synth-heavy, very 80s, which I know you probably wouldn't be too into. But there's a director's cut, which is like 20 minutes longer, that has a musical score by, who is he? Jerry Goldsmith, the guy who did the music for like Star Trek movies and plenty, like millions of other, not millions, maybe hundreds of other movies. Great composer, great musician, but I like both musical scores, if I'm being perfectly honest. Sadly, that director's cut was thought to have been long lost, but they found one in 2002 that was what they call a pristine answer print, but the answer print has resolution setbacks, so it's really only meant to be seen at DVD quality. So, it's a miracle that thing even exists at all, but it doesn't look fantastic on Blu-ray. They make it look as good as they can, but the theatrical cut looks incredible. This is not a 4K, but it is a 4K transfer that they are working with, and it looks delightful. As you can tell, very mixed films from excellent directors from the mid-'80s that get an Arrow release. This is my love language, guys. All right. I think I like Legend more than, if only because Legend has a director's cut, which I do really, really like. But there are scenes in this movie that I will just pop the disc in just to watch the scenes. And every scene in the director's cut is longer. So there is a scene where Mia Sara, that's Ferris Bueller's girlfriend, she plays, I think, Princess Lily. She is like dancing with a black dress as she's like being seduced into darkness. That feels like Guillermo del Toro must have watched that scene like 100 times before he started making movies. I don't know. I could ramble on and on and on forever with this, but like all Arrow releases, they have like reversible cover art with the jewel cases, and I decided to flip it to where it's like the original poster, because the normal one is, of course, just that. But this comes with like little like promo release, like the 80s. Oh man, look at that! 80s coming. Tim Curry in front of just like
insane,
a backdrop. Why not? And then I know. But there's some really great like look at those guys. Look at those little goblin.
I need to see this movie, dude. This looks like it'd be right up my alley. I can do some 80s. Like I can do Willow.
I know.
Willow's an 80s fantasy movie.
That's right. And I would put Willow and Legend in a similar. But I mean, come on. Look at my little guy Blitz. Look at that little goblin. Look at him.
I love it. Also, I like that.
Yeah.
It's not as much fantasy. It's more science fiction, I guess. What's the Criterion? Time Bandits. That also feels the same. Kind of that dirty 80s, like grungy fantasy sci-fi feel.
Yeah. And then, of course, like the Dune, it comes with this gigantic booklet that has... Hold on. It has 1, 2, 3 essays from 2021, production notes, making Legend a 10-page write-up from 2002, Charles de Lazarica on the director's cut, which is like another write-up, and then Ridley Scott on the 2011 Blu-ray transfers, which is text that appears in front of both versions of the movie. And like Dune, it also includes this two-sided reversible poster, which is basically just the same art that you guys have seen.
I gotta ask you a question about when people do those.
But it is like the both sides of the.
How do you feel about them? Like, I
what's your question?
Have mixed. Like, they're cool. It's cool that they went through all that trouble, but like you have to fold it up like a million times to get it in the box, and then it's all creased, and you can't really do anything with it anyway.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I just pull it out, and then the way I like looking at a piece of art is there it is, uncreased, and usually when you have to like unfold it, it's like it has like 3 or 4 different angles where you have to sort of like be looking at it like this, and it's not ideal. But it's kind of cool that they put in the effort. I mean,
awesome, made to look like an old 70s martial arts magazine, with like a bunch of like the essays and stuff are in here.
Oh, cool!
But you gotta fold it in half to get it in the box, and it's like ruined. Like I don't know if I want to put this back in the box or just like put it under a bunch of phone books and like flatten it out and then like store it somewhere else, because it's really nice, but I don't like it getting smashed in the box every time. So I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that, but it's really cool that they did that.
That's a good point. I've been rambling too long about this. Legend, it's a very problematic movie that I really, really like a lot. If only just to pop in the Blu-ray to like watch certain scenes from it, because this movie looks incredible and it's very emotionally evocative. Second half, not as good as the first,
I'm
but
sold,
still,
man.
I think
a
worthy.
I have to check it out. Hopefully next year. Well, this one would be brief. I'll just talk about this one that I got real quick. This is my first Coen film collection Blu-ray. This has been at my Half Price Books forever, and I thought it was a Criterion the first time. I thought it was the other Thief of Baghdad from 1940. This is actually the 1924 version with starring Douglas Fairbanks, big silent film guy. And I've never seen this, but I really like the remake, and this is, like I said, this has been sitting in my Half Price Books for $20 for like ever, and I finally bit the bullet and bought this because we were doing that adventure movie challenge in November, and this was on my list, and it's one of the like 4 films that I didn't get to, unfortunately. But I did buy it. It's like 150
bummer.
minutes. It's almost 3 hours, or it's 2.5 hours, and it's a silent film. And that was a little daunting, especially because I was going through a bunch of other adventure movies last month. But it's pretty nice. I mean, it's not as nice as Criterion's setup, but they also have a little booklet with a lot of with at least one essay in there, and the discs looks nice. I haven't popped this in the player yet, so I don't know exactly how the transfer looks, but I'm sure it's a pretty good collection. There's a couple other Cohen film collection. I don't know if that's like a separate company. I've seen some of their stuff on, what's that other site that we bought Die Nibelungen from? Kino Lorber. I've seen some of their stuff on there. There's another Cohen,
Kino Lorber?
Blu-ray that I want that's on there. So I don't know if they just kind of distribute through that site, but I do want to look more into their collection because this is cool. And then Blancanieves, which is another black and white film that I want to get, is on this collection too. So that's my first foray into that. I'll let you know how it is once I watch it. But yeah, The Thief of Baghdad, 1924. It's supposed to be one of the better silent films. So that's interesting to me, and I'm gonna check it out eventually.
Well, speaking of firsts, I also picked up my first title from a boutique label, and that is Vinegar Syndrome. They put out this. I was going to watch this during the Halloween season, but I just didn't get around to it. Do you know what this is? This is the WNU Halloween special. So this came out in the year 2013, and it is meant to look like a broadcast from 1987. And it's apparently very authentic, but it's meant to look like a VHS recording of a broadcast from a local news station in 1987. I love editing
to make it look. I mean, that's kind of what my aesthetic is here on YouTube, is like making things look cracked and old and ripped. So that's awesome. I love the case too. The case looks great.
Yeah. So I got this specifically because of the slipcover, and actually when I mentioned earlier Flesh for Frankenstein, that's also a Vinegar Syndrome release. And apparently the packaging on that is also very cool. I don't know yet. I'll get back to you guys next month on that one. But I pre-ordered that when I got this. But it's really cool because it's meant to look like one of those generic go to Kmart,
I remember that.
a blank VHS tape. You remember
that you would record on?
The little slips that those came in? It looks like that. Yeah. And if you can tell in the detail, like you can see like the edge of a VHS here, and the texture actually changes where it's like kind of normal and matte, and then like this little texture here is embossed. So that's pretty cool. You have these glossy stickers on it. It's dated Halloween of '87, and then it's got the VHS logo, and I don't know. They went all out with this, and then even on the back, it has a little belongs to. Halloween candy stuck to the back.
I love everything about that.
And then when you pull it out, this is what the actual jewel case looks like, which is just the generic, the poster of it, which I think is cool and all. I like the clear jewel case and whatnot.
Cases. That's where it is. That's where it's at. I saw some people talking in the Facebook group about
I did not
maybe at some point switching their whole collection over to all clear cases. I'm like, wow, that would be a commitment and a lot of money, but more power to you if you eventually do that, because that would be crazy. That would look so nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I will watch this next Halloween time. I'm glad I own it. Apparently a lot of people really like this. It's like a fun, clever novelty, and apparently it's very authentic. So I picked this up because Jay Bauman of Red Letter Media highly recommends this every year as like a fun getting into the spooky Halloween spirit.
All right. Well, I've also got some. Like I said, this goes through October and November, so I also have some Halloween picks. And this is an off the beaten path one. These are 2 collections of cartoons that I bought for my kids to watch every year at Halloween time. I'll go ahead and go with this one first because this one wasn't as Halloweeny as I thought it was going to be. This one's called Technicolor Dreams and Black and White Nightmares. What a cool title. But yeah, this is a collection of about 15 shorts. Some of them I really liked. We actually watched through all of these in October. They're like, let me see. It ranges from 1917 to 1947. It's got a Wizard of Oz cartoon on here from 1932. Some Tom and Jerry cartoons, not the cat and the mouse from Warner Brothers, the Tom and Jerry before them from the 30s. To Spring from 1936 is amazing. I really liked that one. That one was one of my favorites. The Enchanted Square, The Snowman, which is where this nightmare comes from. That's a really, really cool one. So it goes, like I said, it's black and white nightmares and Technicolor Dreams. So it starts out with some black and white ones, and then it goes into some Technicolor shorts. This is from a company called Thunderbean, and I think it might just be one guy. I don't know. I've tried to look into it a little bit, but it's very like homemade. I bought this on Amazon. He actually sells them on his own site, but I found it on Amazon. That's where I didn't even know he was in his own site until I bought this, and it saw like he has like his business card in here, and he prints out this cool little booklet that has a write-up on each of the shorts, so you have a little bit of background, which is helpful as I was watching through them. And I talked a little bit about these on my Letterboxd profile. This is a fun thing to go through in October, because I'm becoming more and more, as I have children, obsessed with like animation and just like all of its forms and like the history of animation, and going back and seeing a lot of this stuff and what it inspired later. Like this is early stuff, like 1917. It was a thing called Dolly Doings, and it was like stop motion, like early stop motion, and it was very creepy, with real like dolls, and it was cool. So I really enjoyed that one. And then the second one, which is more Halloween related, it's Cartoon Roots. I don't know if you've seen that brand. I've seen a lot of things with that banner across the top on Amazon. I'm going to continue to buy these, but this one's called Halloween Haunts, and that is the Tom and Jerry I was talking about down there. So this also has about 15 shorts. This is from a different company called Cartoons on Film. There's their logo down there. This is kind of the same thing, except these are more Halloween related, like the Pumpkin Race. I recommend, if it's on YouTube, I will link it in the description, because the Pumpkin Race is amazing. My son watched it like 4 times this October. It is a stop motion short film. It's basically just these pumpkins. I don't even know how they did it. It was, when is that from? 1907. And it's like these pumpkins, they're like animating these pumpkins. They're just like rolling away like down the street, and like all these people are chasing them. And then they go like up on a roof, down a chimney, in the sewer. It's like it's like the Thunder Gun episode of Always Sunny. Like they're chasing, they're all over the place, and they have a donkey the whole time. Like it's an insane insane silent stop motion black and white short film, and my son absolutely loved it. He's only 3, and he watched that one a bunch. But yeah, this is really cool. I won't run down all of these. I like I said, I talked about a few of them on my Letterboxd profile, if you want to go over there and see which ones I watched this year. But yeah, I think we watched pretty much all of these too. So yeah, these are really cool. I want to continue to get these Blu-rays because I just like having these kind of snapshots and these kind of collections to go through, and something for my kids to grow up with, because I don't want them to watch like Paw Patrol or whatever the cartoons are these days. I want them to grow up watching some classic stuff. So those are really cool, and I talked probably too much about them, but I could talk a lot more. I might actually do a video about those at some point to spread the word about them, because they're really cool sets.
I'm glad you drew some attention to that, because that's like a label, or
yeah,
just
he
like
seems to be a guy who just like loves
spreading
old,
some love. I really like
animation
that.
and shorts, and like wants to preserve them. And it's really cool that he's making Blu-rays out of them, because I'm such a snob that I probably wouldn't have bought it if it wasn't a Blu-ray.
Neat. Well, speaking of animation, my next pick is the one TV pickup that I grabbed, and that was Superman, the complete animated series. This is, of course, the Bruce Timm, Paul Dini, Alan Burnett, animated series, companion piece with Batman the Animated Series. If you guys know the world's finest three-parter that I grew up knowing as the Batman Superman movie, that was part of this. Gilbert Gottfried is the voice of Mr. Mxyzptlk. Tim Daly is Superman. Dana Delaney is Lois, and of course, Clancy Brown is Lex Luthor. Now, I'm really excited to like pop this in and like watch this show again. I've actually not watched through all of this, and I'm excited to because as I get older, I am becoming more and more a fan of Superman. He's my favorite superhero. I love him. But I will say, with it being 2021 and production setbacks and, packaging having to, step down their game as, you and I have lamented over the last few months, I'm going to just, call attention to this, Batman the Animated Series, the complete animated series. Look at that. It is, 2 jewel cases in this nice... you put them in there. It's like this, right? It was like this that I showed off earlier. Oh, I guess this 2-pack from Criterion. But this time the casing, it's just a slipcase. Which it's fine. I'd rather have a slipcase than just the naked jewel case. But I'm excited to finally watch this, though, because I watched several episodes growing up, and this one is a little bit of a black sheep, right? Like, people talk about Justice League, they talk about Justice League Unlimited. Everyone talks about Batman the Animated Series. Even Batman Beyond, I think, gets more love than Superman the Animated Series. But, that's one of my pickups.
Cool. Just so you know, some Spencer in the chat said that the delay is pretty bad. And I'm not sure what's causing that. It's saying that YouTube's saying I have an excellent connection on my end. I might drop you off the call and call you back just to see if that'll fix anything while I'm talking about my next one. See you in a second.
Okay.
All right. So I have another Halloween pickup here, and this is a weird one. This is a very weird one. This is actually something I picked up in October for my watch list because I added it. It's called Blood Tea and Red String. You remember that, Connor? Remember me mentioning that?
I do. Yeah.
I actually found one. There was only 2 on eBay, and they were going for crazy prices. This, if you don't know, is made by one person. It took her 13 years to make, so I'm sure there's not a wide run of DVDs on this. But I wanted to have it because I had to watch it on Tubi and there was ads, and it's not usually something that's going to be available very often, and there's never going to be a Blu-ray of this. So I just wanted to own it because I really enjoyed it. This is a completely stop motion, hand stop motion, by one person. Like I said, it took forever to make, and it's weird and creepy and out there, and it's a fairy tale for adults, fantasy. It's pretty epic, and I really enjoyed it. So I highly recommend Blood Tea and Red String if you can get your hands on it. It's very spooky. It definitely fits the Halloween. I don't know. It fits in that category if you want to watch around Halloween time. But I think you could just watch it anytime if you like stop motion or if you like fantasy stuff. So I recommend that one. Yeah. Not much to say about it. It's kind of hard to talk about if you haven't seen it because it's really strange. But yeah, what's your next one?
I remember you describing that, and I really wanted to check it out, and you really liked it. So I don't know. Maybe if it's hard to get your hands on, I might have to look pretty hard.
Yeah,
but
it was available to stream on Tubi for free, which is a free streaming site. So it might still be there. But yeah, it's not for everyone. I'd be very interested to know what you thought of it, or if anyone wants to look at it.
I'll look into it. Yeah. Well, my next is actually another spooky pick, and that is Guillermo del Toro's Crimson Peak. This is another Arrow release. By the way, that cover art is really cool.
I like it.
My lights are kind of the way.
That's one of the Del Toro films I haven't seen. Didn't hear great things about it, but I still want to check it out at some point.
This was my first Guillermo del Toro movie, actually. I wasn't crazy about it when I saw it in the theater, but every other del Toro movie I've really liked, so I want to give it another shot. I'm not a big fan of Mia Wasikowska as an actress. She's the lead. I like Tom Hiddleston, but this is definitely one that you watch for the production design and the Guillermo del Toro-ness of it. And with Nightmare Alley coming out, I actually just watched the original Nightmare Alley last night. And, having some Guillermo on the shelf is necessary. I didn't pick this up when it first dropped on Blu-ray, but Arrow got their hands on it and put it out. And this is when the sale at Barnes & Noble was going on. When Arrow knows what they're doing. They're like, wait a minute, Criterion has 50% off in these months at Barnes & Noble. Let's do the same thing. So I got this for half off, and I'm happy I did.
Yeah, I was tempted. I was tempted by the Arrow shelf over there in my Barnes & Noble. They had Flash Gordon, which I had never seen, but it had like a nice slipcover and everything. But I held off. I'll have to wait. They also had Dune. All right.
Oh, yeah, they have Dune. They have a lot of copies of Dune.
All right, this is another related to Halloween, I would say. This is one of my son's favorite movies, and I had to get it for him this month because he wanted to watch it, even though it's on HBO Max and he can watch it anytime he wants. But I did want to own this one. I like owning the G-Kid stuff. It's Kikis Delivery Service. What a delightful movie. I know you've seen this movie. You watched through all the Ghibli stuff. This is a great movie. This is like I like the Studio Ghibli movies that are just like chill and like I don't know. This and what's the other one? The first one.
Nausicaa?
Not the first one. The one that the logo is based on. Totoro. My Neighbor Totoro.
Yeah.
I love that one a lot. Like even more than this one. I actually like that one a lot more than this one the first time I saw it. This one's grown on me because my son has watched it a few times. It's just nice, man, to just like live in this world for a little bit. Everyone's so nice and friendly, and it's I don't know. And the something I noticed this last time is the animation is crazy on this one. Like when she's flying, way like this high up in the air, and the buildings are that small, you can still see like bikes riding around and like cars moving and stuff. Like I was paying attention to that this last time, and the animation on this one is awesome. Everyone's probably seen this movie. This is nothing new to people who are obviously into pop culture, so I won't say too much about it. But yeah, I like to watch this one around Halloween, and my son really likes it, so we picked it up this month. Kind of the same thing I did with Coraline and Paranorman last month. Just picked up some kids' movies for my son, just so we can build a Halloween library to watch each year.
Kiki's Delivery Service is actually the first Studio Ghibli movie I ever watched.
Well, Totoro is the first one I watched, so maybe that has something to do with why I like that one so much.
Yeah, I think I like Totoro just a little bit more than Kiki's Delivery Service, but I want to watch it again because that was still when I was like, anime, I was still trying to get out of that mentality when I was watching Kiki's Delivery Service. My next pick is a movie that I've actually seen before.
What a novelty! We bought something that we've actually seen before.
I know, right? This is a Best Picture nominee from, I believe, 1962, 61 or 62. Sony for home video releases, like of the major studios, Sony is actually like amazing at what they do, and they've been putting out a lot of like catalog titles. And this is one of them. It is the Guns of Navarone.
Wow.
This is a movie that stars Gregory Peck, David Niven, and Anthony Quinn. But it's a men on a mission adventure war movie, and it's pretty good. It's very long. This includes the roadshow version, which has a overture and an overture and an intermission. But you can also just watch the version without those, just the regular version, not non-roadshowified. But what I like what they do is you see the slipcover. I like it where you have the classic poster art, and then look at that. I don't like this art very much. It looks very bad. So I love covering it up with this cool art. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Anyways, very good movie. I watched this like 5-6 years ago kind of a trip down memory lane. Good movie.
Nice. All right. Well, let's jump over to my one television pick this month. I said I had television. I only have one, so I was kind of being a little bit deceptive. But yeah, this is a great show. I really liked this show, and I've only watched it once. And I watched the first episode with my wife, and then she didn't finish it with me for some reason. I think I had to get through it real quick to review it on the other channel that I'm on, the Geek Pollution channel. So I sped through it. I think I actually watched this at work while I was working. But it's Watchmen. This is the story. I went to Best Buy, which I never do because we don't have one near us, and I never find good deals at Best Buy. I don't know if it's the Best Buys in my area, but I never find anything. So I went to Best Buy, and this was there, and it was like $15. Or maybe no, it was $20, and I was like, oh, that's a pretty good deal for. So I was tempted to buy it, but I didn't, and I went home and I looked it up on Amazon, and it was $9.99. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just get it on Amazon. I'm glad I didn't buy it. So yeah, this, I don't know if it still is, but this was super cheap in October, and I'm glad I got my hands on it. I mean, it's only like 10 episodes, but I mean they're like movie length episodes, so $10, you can't beat that. I'm a big Watchmen fan, and I thought this was a great show. And it's a nice little sideways slipper, like you said with the Batman thing. Slides right out of there. I haven't opened it yet, but I will open it because sometime during the next year I'm going to watch it with my wife because, like I said, she hasn't seen it yet. So that is it. Watchmen.
I know that show's a bit contentious for people. I wasn't really into it for the first half, but I really liked the second half a lot, and it made me appreciate the first half a lot more. So I want to go back to it. And my brother will kill me if I don't show this off, but he got the Steelbook. I know you're not a Steelbook guy. So
I can exist in a world where people like different things than me. I'm okay with that. No hate here. That's really cool.
But that's what it looks like. And then on the back it says TikTok, TikTok with the blood on it.
That's really cool.
But my brother picked that up way back when it came out, so he would like it if I showed that off, I imagine.
Yeah, well, let us know in the chat if you enjoyed Connor taking something that was yours and showing it off. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that one. I do want to watch it again soon. That's my TV pick.
Lube Man Lives.
I should have went as him for Halloween. Still need to do that.
That would be great. Absolutely, you totally should. My next pick is actually 3 movies from who is becoming one of my absolute favorite filmmakers. It is Edgar Wright, and this is the Cornetto trilogy on 4K. I totally dropped the ball because they released all of these individually on 4K with like slipcovers, and I was like, I'm gonna wait for a price drop. You know who didn't wait for a price drop? Everyone else. So now I'm the chump who has the 3 movie pack.
Oh no, those things are terrible. At least it's not like a 4 where there's just like 4 corners and it's like the Ninja Turtles.
4 film favorites with these movies. But luckily it doesn't have like for example with Indiana Jones, right? Like I complained about this last time. 4 movies. Look at that. It has like the number of the movies on it. That always like annoys me for some reason. It feels like fake, and I don't like it. This doesn't have that. It just says like Edgar Wright, Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, The World's End. Yeah. Like, and it this had a slipcover at one point. It sure don't now. But you know, it's okay. It's okay. It's cool. It's cool. I've only seen Shaun of the Dead. I thought that movie was great, and I am very, very excited for the next 2 to watch, and I'm glad I own them on 4K.
That's cool. That's cool. I actually own the first 2 because they did those in the Real Heroes slipcover line. I showed them off before, and they never did the 3rd one, so I still don't own that one. So hopefully I can get that in some form or fashion, even though it's not going to match my other 2. All right, my next 2.
That's disappointing.
I might do 3 actually, depending on how many you have left. I have these next 2 go together. They are both Harryhausen films. So something I figured out last month is I put so many Harryhausen films on my on my list last month because I was trying to get through the box sets, and that's 9 right there, just those 3 box sets. And he only has like 15 films, and I was so close to all of them. I was like 4 away from all of them, so I just started buying them all. And and I got these two. Sorry, let me switch over. This one I have seen, and I like. Nope, sorry. This one I have seen, and I liked a lot. I mean, it's basically just cavemen fighting each other, cavemen fighting dinosaurs, dinosaurs fighting each other. It was so much fun. This is one of those ones that I watched like. I went on a vacation in like May, and for some reason my daughter was like big into naps at the time. She was like 1 year old, and we didn't really have like a crib because we were on vacation at the beach. So she would just like fall asleep on my chest while I was watching like movies on my phone, and I watched some like old movies. That's where I watched them for the first time. Was one of those naps while she just fell asleep on me. And then I also watched this one, and she would just look at the phone until she fell asleep, and it worked like a charm. So this, I wouldn't show it to her now that she's like 2 or 18 months or whatever, but when she was a baby, 1,000,000 Years BC is a really fun movie. And then I haven't seen this one yet. I assume it's the same kind of deal, The Valley of Gwanji, except this one has, what? A cowboy fighting dinosaurs? Time travel? Whoa. I don't know. I don't know if it's just like a specific valley that has dinosaurs. I don't know what it's about. I know nothing about it except for Harryhausen did the stop motion, and I'm very close to having a complete Harryhausen collection. So I've got those two. The only one I don't have is like impossible to find in Region A. There's like only an overseas like English Blu-ray, but I think it's region free. I'm gonna go for it. It's the Earth versus the Flying Saucers. I don't know why that one has. I don't know if there's a rights thing. Like I thought that one should have been in the box set. Like that one is one of his most famous ones. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what the rights thing is with that, but I do need to get my hands on that one eventually. But yeah, these are one of the. A few. I'll do another Harryhausen thing here in a second, but these are the two of the last films that I needed for his collection.
That is awesome. Yeah, no, you'd think that instead of like the 3 worlds of Gulliver, you'd have Earth versus the Flying Saucers.
One definitely should have been in that set, and it fits up. It lines up with the years better because it was before Sinbad. It should have been in that set. Gulliver was after Sinbad, so I don't know. I'm assuming it has to be some kind of rights thing why that one wasn't in the set, because I was watching the bonus features on those sets and they kept talking about Earth versus the Flying Saucers. Like there's a whole interview with Tim Burton interviewing Ray Harryhausen, and he keeps bringing up Flying Saucers as one of the most influential and ones that inspired him. And I'm like, why is it not on the set? So I don't know. I'll get my hands on it eventually.
Nice. Well, this next one, you can tell it's November because this is where we get into some adventure time, baby.
The Adventure Time, complete series.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. It is The Adventures of Robin Hood, starring my boy Errol Flynn, also Olivia de Havilland, Basil Rathbone, and Claude Rains. I gushed about this for a while when we talked about how we ranked all the movies that we watched in November. This movie's great. I love it. I actually watched it again recently because my brother and I, we sat down, we had Nightmare Alley in the Blu-ray player, like main menu, ready to go. And I sat there and I said, hey Spencer, you want to watch Adventures of Robin Hood? He was like, okay. So then I actually got up, changed the discs, and watched this again. I love this movie. What a joyous experience. If you have not watched this, please do. Especially if you love your adventure heroes completely sincere and fun. It doesn't get better than this.
Sweet. All right, I'll just go ahead and jump into the other one that I got. This is another one that I didn't get to, sadly, last month. But I got this beautiful digibook. So shiny. And then the back is shiny. The nice black spine with just the Warner Brothers logo on there. Warner Brothers can put out some digibooks, man. Any other problems you have with them, they put out. Look at that. It's just like images throughout, and spoiler alert. Sorry. There's the Kraken, the famous Ray Harryhausen monster. There's the disc. Same art as the front. I haven't seen this yet. I think you have, right? I think you have a leg up on me on this one.
I have, yeah. I think that's the one Harryhausen movie.
So yeah, I've seen all of them except for these 3, and the Earth vs. Flying Saucers. But yeah, I did watch Jason and the Argonauts this month or last month, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm excited to get into this one too. I know it's a couple decades later, but it is the same kind of source material, Greek mythology. So I'm excited to check that one out, and I'm glad I got this because there's only like this was like the one on eBay that I could find. I was looking for it. It was like a lot of just cheap plastic jewel case ones that didn't look great, and then I found this for a good price, and I was like, oh, gotta snatch that. That's really cool. So yeah, that is my penultimate Ray Harryhausen purchase. I have one more movie of his to get my hands on. And then I had to pick up this because I'm a fairy tale guy. I mean, you know I'm a fairy tale guy. I want my kids to be raised on fairy tales. And Ray Harryhausen started in fairy tales. Did you know that? He started... That's how he got his work. That was like his resume, man. Like, he just made these fairy tales, these stop-motion fairy tale shorts. And, like, they still show them in school, apparently. Like, they're pretty big. I haven't seen them. But people... Like, that's how he got... What was his first movie? Was his first movie Mighty Joe Young? I think that might have been his first big movie, but like they saw these. So this is Ray Harryhausen, the early years collection. So it has those fairy tales, and it also has some of his other early short films that he did, just kind of like on his own in his basement or whatever his studio was. I'm sure he had a little bit of a studio, but yeah, you can see that. Look at the characters. I mean, they look pretty cool. Just like telling me some stop motion fairy tales, some classics. I'm excited to dig into that. It's got like this nice little booklet here. Going through everything that's in here, because like I said, this is the early years. It's a lot of stuff. Like there's 2 discs. There's the first disc, second disc, with what looks to be the hair that loses to the tortoise, I'm assuming. But yeah, I'm excited to get through these. As soon as Christmas is over, I want to jump into these with my son and watch a lot of these, because we've been watching a lot of old fairy tales in like 2D animation. But to see these 3D animations, got this really cool picture of him right here. Actually moving them. They're like to scale. They're like really small, which is really cool. So yeah.
Is that a green bug-eyed alien?
Yeah, I don't know what that's from. I don't think that's a fairy tale. Like I said, it's got his other early stuff in here. So it's got the Enchanting Mother Goose and fairy tales, fully restored by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences and introduced by Ray Harryhausen. And it's got the amazing story behind the making of the tortoise and the hare. So it's got some like documentary stuff and bonus features. And then Mr. Harryhausen's early films, tests, and experiments. Many presented on here for the first time, it says. And then there's, on the second disc, there's like a lot of unique and never foreseen featurettes, including an exclusive reunion between Ray Harryhausen, Ray Bradbury, and Forrest J. Ackerman. And then there's a lot of other... So it looks like all the shorts and stuff is on the first disc, and there's a lot of cool bonus features in the second disc. So yeah, I'm excited to dig into that whole set. Like I've become a really big Harryhausen fan just over the last month in November, watching a lot of his stuff. So the fact that he has some kid stuff for my kids to grow up with is exciting. So I'm glad I found that. That was another thing that was like $120 on Amazon. So I looked on eBay, and like there was like 2 available, and this one was like ending, and I think I got it for like $16 or something. I got a really good deal on that. So glad I found that when I did.
Excellent. That's awesome. My next is 2 movies, and that is Fritz Lang's Die Nibelungen, which I watched for Adventure Month, November, on your recommendation, because I didn't know this existed, and then you said, I got it, and I'm going to watch it, and I said,
yeah, I got that in the last Blu-ray update.
So I nabbed it.
But you say my recommendation. I still haven't seen it, but I just told you that it exists.
That's right. So I thought, so this is 2 movies, and for anyone wondering, I thought the first film was excellent, and I did not like the second one. I would say, is the second movie bad? No. But I kind of hated watching it, so that's where I'm at with it. But it's totally worth it, because that first movie stands alone like very, very well. So it's worth seeking this out, because that's like 2.5 hours long. It's great. Nice. So anyways, Die Nibelungen by Fritz Lang.
Right. And sorry again if it seems like I'm cutting Connor off. He does have a little bit of a lag tonight. I'm gonna pop you off and call you back for while I'm talking about this, because it's like it gets bad over time. I don't know why it's doing that, but But yeah, so my next one.
Okay.
Let me see where I want to go with after this. I'll save. You know what? Forget it. I'll just talk about this one because it's Christmas time, and I got. This is a different one. So this is a different one than my last one. I got another Christmas Carol. This is and I talked about this a little bit in the Christmas video we did, but this is the 1951 version. I got the 1984 version in the previous Blu-ray update in September, and then I had to get this one because it's on my Christmas watch list this month, and I haven't seen it yet. So I'm gonna break into the Alistair Sim: A Christmas Carol, which is a pretty well-known one. I think a lot of people like this one. I don't like the cover. Like, look at this. Why would you pick this ugly blue? I mean, it's a nice blue, but it just doesn't go with, like, Christmas colors like the red. And then the spine is terrible. Like, I don't even know where I'm going to put this on my color spectrum in my shelf because, like, his face is up here. And then there's the blue for a little bit. And there's, like, his head coming into the spine. And then, like, red at the bottom with his scarf. Like, it's a terrible spine. I don't know where I'm going to put that. Either the red or the black section. I don't know. So thanks for causing me problems on my shelf. But I do eventually want to own all the Christmas carols, and I do want to have a pretty good Christmas Blu-ray collection at some point. So that's 3 down. I have the Disney Jim Carrey one. I do need to get the 38 version, which I haven't seen. I also own Scrooged, as we found out in the Christmas video, where I had to grab it super quick because Connor last minute added it to his list. But yeah, Christmas Carol. It's Christmas time. And I'm going to crack it open soon because I haven't got to this one yet in my December watch list. Hey, Adam Arch. Adam Arch just joined us in the chat. Ethan Edwards also popped in. And John Henry. Good to see you guys with us. Sorry for the tech difficulties tonight, guys. But yeah, what's your next one, Connor?
All right. My next movie, this is, I guess, a holdover from the Halloween month because this movie was... Oh, I'm so sorry. I can't see you. Can you guys see me?
Yes. You're good. I can see you.
Okay. So this was... Oh, I can see you now. Okay, we're good. This was supposed to come out in October, but with the day it came out, there was no stock for it. And kind of surprising considering how kind of big a profile release this was. And its 25th anniversary. Wow. I just watched through all the Scream movies this last October. I really, really like them, particularly the first one. This movie's so much fun. It's very great. And I just walked in one day, like 3-4 weeks after it was supposed to come out, and there it was. So I just snagged it, and I finally have Scream on 4K. I enjoy the sequels to varying degrees, but I say this is probably the only one worth owning. But Scream 4 is probably the best sequel.
Are they going to like alter the logo in the Scream 4 one to try to fit a K also in the A of the fourth?
Yeah, they do like a crossword puzzle style incorporation of that.
I gotta fix your... Man, the technology gods are really trying to sabotage you tonight, Connor. Your screen is like changing sizes. it's crazy. I'm having to fix it.
I'm so
like
sorry.
in real time. I don't think that's your fault. I think it's OBS just acting up and being weird. But it's really funny. You're like a little small Connor. All right.
Hey, what's going on?
This next one was a total surprise. I had no intention of buying this. I mean, I wanted to buy it. I like the movie, but I don't know why this came out. Did you see this? This is Wonder from was that 2019? 2017. That's right. That's the year I had Movie Pass and saw everything, which is amazing. And I really got my money's worth out of them before they went under. But Wonder is a great movie, man. It's such a feel-good movie. And that was right before I had a kid. We had my kid in 2018. I feel like if I watched this movie now, I would just bawl my eyes out and like be lying on the floor, because nobody better bully my kid or I'm gonna have to take him out. But yeah, this is a great movie, and I saw this just randomly at Target when I was shopping, and it's like this really cool. I should have opened it for this. I might do a video on this. It's a steelbook. Look at me, I bought a steelbook. One way to get me to buy a steelbook is put a slipcover on it. Look at that, so much better. It looks good on the shelf, and it's safe because it's a steelbook. Win-win. Why can't they all do that? So that's definitely one way to get me to buy a steelbook. But look at this. Look at this artwork. Look at that. Look at this slipcover over a steelbook. Like, this is crazy. Like I said, I had no idea this was coming out. Exclusively at Target. Don't know why it wasn't like part of a set. Like sometimes Target will do those like sets where they release like a lot of similar artwork. This was just by itself. I don't know I have no idea why this came out, but I'm glad it did because I never bought it in 2017 or yet. So I'm glad that I finally got this really cool version of it. I don't know. I have nothing else to say. I haven't seen the movie since theaters, but that's really cool.
I remember really liking that movie, and that's a really cool release. Like that looks awesome. I would probably buy that if I saw it out in the wild.
Yeah, I don't know what the idea with that was. I don't know why that came out, but I'm glad it did because I finally own it, and it's much better than just like a standard slipcover.
Yeah. All right. So my next picks kind of go hand in hand. So because. Oh man, I'm freezing up all the time now. Oh no.
Oh no, might have to go it alone.
Anyways, but long story short, Disney, you suck. You put out Marvel Phase 1. You put out Marvel Phase 2. And now for us North Americans, Marvel Phase 3, all of a sudden I didn't buy them because, I guess like a jerk, I just assumed they'd put out a Phase 3 box set. They didn't. So
that's so sad.
I have to go. I got Black Panther. This still had a slipcover. I now own, because I got this, I now own every Best Picture nominee of 2018.
Oh, cool.
So you had to prioritize getting that one. And then I really brought this up because I went to go get Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings on 4K. Kind of a shame that the IMAX enhanced version is only on Disney Plus, but this was shot entirely in IMAX, and they use a 4K digital intermediate, so it's a good-looking disc. I think this movie's all right. You certainly like it more than I do, but I'm glad I got it. I really like the cover art. This is certainly better than the other options they could have gone with. Because I think some of the poster art for this movie looks dreadful, but this one, not bad. So I got those two Marvel movies.
Yeah. I will defend that movie forever because I really like that movie, but I won't defend the posters because they're terrible, like most Marvel posters. But I also got that this month. I got the Target exclusive. I've talked about this a lot. I did a whole video on this. And you guys actually really liked me doing an unboxing video. It did really well, so I might have to start doing more of those because that was a lot of fun, and it was a fun, quick video. So yeah, boom, look at that. Those posters do look good. I do like those, but like once they start throwing all the characters in, it looks terrible. So I really like the artwork on this. They got an artist to do this. I've talked about this. It's the crappy packaging that I don't like. Exhausted everything. I don't need to talk about that anymore. But yeah, I do like this. It looks great on the shelf. It is a wacky spine. It's another one of those ones where I don't know where I'm going to put it. Probably in the dark bluish section, but then there's this orange ring stripe coming through there. So yeah, Shang-Chi, great movie. And how are we? How many do you have left? Are you good?
I got two remaining.
Perfect. That'll go perfect with what I have.
All right. So these next two kind of go hand in hand, but I'm just going to do them one at a time. The next movie is a Best Picture nominee. Usually if you're nominated for Best Picture, that means I'll probably just grab you blind. But this is Warren Beatty's directorial debut. He actually co-directed this. It is Heaven Can Wait, which, if you're unfamiliar with this, I could have done a whole thing, but I forgot to. There's a movie from, I believe, 1941 called Here Comes Mr. Jordan. And then in 1946, there was a movie called Heaven Can Wait. Anyways, this is a movie called Heaven Can Wait that's actually a remake of Here Comes Mr. Jordan.
Oh, that's confusing.
Yeah. And guess what? I own all of them. This is the only one of those three that is not in the Criterion collection. So my Criterions are over in my living room. So I don't have them handy right here. But I did grab this. Bit of a divisive movie this one is, because I know a lot of people think this is a very bad remake of Here Comes Mr. Jordan, and they find this boring and overlong and whatever, but there are some people who find this very charming, and this is the great Warren Beatty's directorial debut after many years of being the biggest actor in town.
Nice. That is a
Boom.
pick. All right. Talked about this briefly in the adventure video, but I have to talk about it again because look at this. I got this month. Oh, it's so amazing. It's so cool. Oh, it slides out the side. Look at that. Oh, it opens up. There's all these crazy goodies inside. Look at this. I mean, Connor showed this off in our Blu-ray box set video that we did, so I won't go into huge detail. But someone actually just left a comment on that video like yesterday saying that they just bought the Ten Commandments one because he already had the Ben-Hur one just based on our video. So I'm glad I showed somebody that box set because that's another awesome one. But yeah, there's so many goodies in here. Not even to mention all the bonus features on the discs themselves, including a whole nother Ben-Hur film from 1925, which we talked about. But there's like a journal back there behind there, and then like this old book, like so much cool stuff. This is going up on the tippy top with all my box sets, and gonna slide that back in. But yeah, Ben-Hur, still haven't seen it, but now I have no excuse because it's right here on my shelf, and I don't have to track it down on streaming. And thank you so much, Connor, for showing me how great this box set was, because this was one that I wanted for a long time, but I was never convicted to pick it up until Connor showed off everything that's in it, and he also loves this movie, and I think I'm gonna love this movie too, based on everything I've heard about it. So Ben-Hur, look at that.
It's so good. I love that set. It's amazing.
Nice. All right, what is your last one, sir?
All right, lastly, this is Warren Beatty's second film as director, another Best Picture nominee, and I believe 1981. It is Reds. This is a 3-hour epic starring Warren Beatty, but it also has Diane Keaton and Jack Nicholson. Something a bit notorious for being very long and kind of one of those, like, it's an Oscar movie, it's very serious, it's a period drama, it's long, it has famous people in it, but I don't know, Warren Beatty's one of those Hollywood icons I do want to know more about and get more familiar with, so Paramount put out both his first and second film as director on Blu-ray on the same day, so Heaven Can Wait and Reds. So I finally got those, and I'll see how I like them. This could have been a big mistake, or it could not have been, We'll see.
All right. For my next one, I'm going to pull up a visual aid. I've got Letterboxd open here. So Connor and I are in a Discord together, and he made the claim, what was it, 1930? I don't remember what year it was, but you said that you watched Island of Lost Souls and Bride of Frankenstein, maybe, or some other. You said, I watched 3 movies from this year. Is this the greatest year of all time for movies, maybe? What year did you say?
Oh, that must have been 35.
Okay.
Because
so
that was the year Frankenstein. Bride of Frankenstein, Mutiny on the Bounty, and something else. But I have a hunch I know what you're going to say.
So you said that, and then you probably saw my response in the Discord. I was like, it would have a pretty hard time beating 1939. And I didn't even know how like right I was, because I thought that was a great year. I mean, that's Wizard of Oz. That is Hunchback of Notre Dame, which I think is a perfect movie. I absolutely love that version of the movie. That's also Gone with the Wind. I mean, Stagecoach, the rules of the game. Anyway, yeah. There's so many amazing movies, including Only Angels Have Wings, which I watched last month for the Adventure Challenge I just got from the Criterion sale. So many movies in there. So I've decided, just to spite you, Connor, that I am going to start collecting 1939 films. So, and what really got this rolling is I found this amazing digibook on eBay. Look at that, the Golden Year. This is what I was telling you about, the 1939. It's got Dark Victory, Dodge City, Gone with the Wind, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, which there's no good Blu-ray for, so I'm so glad I got that in this. And it's got Ninochka, all in a nice, slick, black and gold digibook with this color scheme where each one, so Dark Victory's in the blue. This is kind of like the Indiana Jones one. Hunchback of Notre Dame is in that gold. Oh, look at that. And then Ninochka's in the red. Look at those pictures on the side. Oh, Dodge City. I can't wait to dig into this set. And then Gone with the Wind is back there. And there's a bonus disc with a documentary. This hour-long documentary examines Hollywood's golden year, 1939, that gave the world the films in this collection, plus such other classics as Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, Stagecoach, and Destry Rides Again. All of those are... Well, not all of them, but Stagecoach and I think Destry Rides Again are both in the Criterion Collection. And there's also The Rules of the Game is in the Criterion Collection. So I think like Criterion can get me pretty far with this 1939 collection if I keep buying those ones. I think, what's the other one? The Story of the Last Chrysanthemum is in the Criterion Collection. So there's a lot of those. This is my starter kit. I already have, I have Wizard of Oz and some other ones. But then I had to buy this month. So I got this other digibook, which you also have, and I saw this. I've seen this digibook for a while. I just never picked it up. So this is another 1939 movie that I wanted to get. Look at that. I love the black and white with the gold accent. I wish every movie had a digibook. Why can't they do that? Do you have a different digibook?
Yeah. Okay. No. I have. They put out a lot of Frank Capra's on digibook, and I almost got that. I have You Only. Sorry, not You Only Live Twice. My bad.
Whoa. Was James Stewart in a? That's a different role for him.
No, I got You Can't Take It With You, Lost Horizon, and I think one other Frank Capra digibook. But Mr. Smith Goes to Washington was in the Columbia Classics 4K collection, and I didn't get that collection, but I got somebody to sell it to me independent, so I have it on 4K.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I like how I like the different slip and under. Pretty cool.
That's really cool. So yeah, that's what I was talking about. I've been giving Connor hints that I have something that was inspired by him in this update, but I didn't tell him what it was, and I'm so glad I didn't because his face is priceless right now. So yeah, I don't know how far I'm going to take this collection, but I do want to start getting everything in 1939 because I'm pretty far already with what I've got. So look up that if you can. I was able to get it for a really good price. I wish I remember. I don't know. It was less than 30. I think it was stupid, 20 something. I got all 5 of these classic movies on this digibook, and also added this one. And there's a couple other Criterion ones that I want to get. Young Mr. Lincoln is also 39. There's so many movies came out in 1939.
Whoa.
So yeah, that's my last one. I've been saving that for the end just to mess with Connor. But yeah, we'll see.
I'm glad you did. That is amazing. I love that spite-fueled challenge because, I mean, that totally 1939 is the best year ever. I was gonna ask. I love those booklet collections. Those are amazing.
Yeah, I showed one last month with the special effects one with what was it? It was them and
Son of Kong.
Son of Kong. Of course, you remember that one. And then Mighty Joe Young and stuff. Yeah, these are so cool. I need to get more of these.
I saw that Kino Lorber put out one a couple of years ago for all of the entire silent works of Fritz Lang, and I couldn't believe, I had no idea that was a thing. I am saving my pennies for that one for sure. Auga, right? But that is beautiful. I might actually invest in that. That's cool.
I don't even know if I showed the back, but the back is also super cool. Little blurb about each one with all of their respective colors. Looks like a Power Rangers team. The same thing as that Jacques Demy box set. They always go with the Power Ranger colors when they do this 5 movie collections. But I'm excited to dig into this one. I've been watching nothing but Christmas movies nonstop so far this month. So whenever we get to January, I'll have a lot of stuff on my plate that I need to get through. And hopefully you've been watching through Christmas movies too, sir, because we have a wrap-up video that we need to get to, and we've committed to watching a lot of Christmas movies so we can share our opinions. And that's been going great for me. I don't know about you, but the Criterion channel has not steered me wrong with those. Like, I've been watching Umbrellas of Cherbourg and Mourning for the Osone family, and what was the other one? All the ones on that list have been really good. And I've been enjoying some of the old ones that I've been watching on HBO Max too, some of the classic Hollywood stuff. So yeah, I've been enjoying everything I've been watching so far.
Let me tell you what. I watched Home Alone 3.
Oh, I mean, that's all that matters.
Which isn't even a Christmas movie.
All right. Well, Connor will watch some Christmas movies, and we'll have a good discussion about that at the end of this month, probably the beginning of next month because Christmas. But but we'll do a follow up on that Christmas movie challenge because I've got a lot I'm trying to get through. And yeah, we'll see you again in another video. Like I said, I've got a lot of new releases here that I might start doing more unboxing videos, like that Shang-Chi one, because that seemed to do pretty well. And a lot of you guys seem to care about that. And we brought on some new people, so welcome any new subscribers. We are already closing in on 300. It feels like we just announced 200 subscribers. Well, I didn't announce it, but it feels like I was just noticing that I got 200 subscribers like a couple weeks ago. Like I'm very overwhelmed by the positive reaction. I was not expecting anyone to care about my thoughts. So the fact that there's just almost 300 of you is very, very surreal. And I'm so thankful for you guys, because I just do this because it's fun. I just love hanging out with my friends and talking about movies. And I love talking to you guys in the chat. So thanks, guys, for joining us. We've still got Adam Arch and Ethan with us. And, oh, yeah, we've got a bunch of people with us, actually. Even if you're not commenting, YouTube shows me how many people are here. So I can stalk you the whole stream. But thanks for anyone who popped in. And if you're watching after the fact, leave a comment in the chat. Let us know what you bought this month. Let us know what you think of our picks. Let us know what other 1939 films I should watch. And let us know what other year Connor should collect. Pick a specific year that Connor has to collect all the movies from, and he'll probably do it because he's one of those guys that just like accepts challenges. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. Thanks for joining me, Connor, and we'll see you guys in the next video.